Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it is time for another melted video. This time I'm doing things a little bit differently. I am just going to be going over the stuff that I have that's empties because I have a ton of empties. Honestly, probably enough for about a 30-minute video. So I don't want to go into the stuff that I've melted that like isn't empty yet, although I've melted a lot of favorites. I've melted Vanilla Strawberry Noel by Rose Girls. I have a stockpile of that. Some Sweeney's Barbershop from Vintage Chic scents. I have a stockpile of that. I've melted quite a few scents where I still have a lot of it, but I'm just going to go over the stuff that I have that's empties because I have a bucket full of empties. So let's go ahead and get going so I can get rid of the trash. So I'm just going to pull a random one out and start with Mele Kalikimaka. This is by Vintage Chic Scents. I melted this around Christmas time, I think. And this is a pine cone and lime scent. It is a Yankee candle dupe for one of their candles. I've actually never smelled the candle, so all I ever had to go off of was this dupe. I really like this scent. Like, I would buy this in a large quantity. I did let it cure for about 14 months before I melted it, if you look at the pour date. So it had a nice, super long cure on it when I melted it. It was super strong. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10, which is pretty rare for VCS, at least in my house. Would absolutely buy this in a larger quantity. You really get the like fresh pine cone scent, and then there's a citrus behind it too. Very, very nice scent. One that I could probably melt all year long. So would definitely purchase this. Again, Sparkling Winter Sangria Mimosas by Rose Girls. I did in between Christmas and New Year's. I did a mini advent calendar where I melted all of the Rose Girls muffins that I got in the cocktail sampler, the Christmas cocktail sampler, so that all the bags have a date on them. This one I think was my favorite of the bunch. I have requested it in the Facebook group that she pour this again. This was fantastic. I don't remember the notes on this one, but it is a definitely like a citrusy, slightly fizzy, fruity drink scent. This threw at an 11 out of 10. Absolutely bomb throwing scent. And if she poured this in any type of quantity in the future, I would be all over it. It ended up being my absolute favorite out of the entire sampler. Absolutely love this one. Highly recommend you get your hands on it if she pours it again, if you get the opportunity to do it. This is another one that I feel like I personally could melt year round because the winter sangria mimosas, that evokes like a New Year's type of vibe to me, but it's definitely a summery type scent too. All over this one, 11 out of 10, phenomenal. Glitterati Candle Company Cocktail. This was my New Year's Day melt, and it actually threw for 2 days. I didn't change my wax at all. This one, when I did my mystery box haul, I had said that this one was one that I enjoyed before, but I was kind of meh about it. Like, it was just kind of okay. It's not something that I would necessarily purchase in a large quantity if given the opportunity. After melting this on New Year's Day, I've completely changed my mind. This is phenomenal. This one threw at about 11 out of 10. Super, super strong. As you guys know, Glitterati is the strongest throwing wax in my house. That may not go for everybody, but in my house, Glitterati is the strongest throwing wax. If I had the opportunity to purchase this, if I ever make it on a customs list, or if I ever get this again in a mystery box, I'll be super stoked because this is fantastic. It's a fruity drink blend. Again, I can't remember the notes. I know there's like pineapple and mango. I can smell it in the bag. And maybe like a orange scent. It's just really, really good fruity. No fizzy in it at all. Just a super good fruity drink blend. and I would absolutely recommend this to my fruity lovers. And again, no fizz in it, so if you're not a fruity fizzy lover, you'd probably like this. Order of the Warrens by Vintage Chic Scents. So this one is this was actually my brainchild. I talked about this in the haul video where I got the Warren sampler. This was my brainchild. Kirby had asked in the Facebook group, what would you like to see blended with the Warrens? And I said Order of the Arrow. And enough people agreed with me that Kirby decided to make it a reality, and Order of the Warrens was born. This is basically a blend of Marshmallow Fireside types and Cider Lane type. So at its core, that's what it is. You've got your marshmallow, you've got your smokiness from the Fireside, and you've got Cider Lane, which is just a really nice caramel apple cidery type blend. Cider Lane, the Warrens does have like a donut scent in it and a couple of other things going on, but at its core, this is Marshmallow Fireside and Cider Lane blended, which is something that I've really been loving this fall and winter. I do have a full loaf of this, so I repurchased it prior to melting this, and I didn't give it a very long cure time, maybe 3 months. It threw very nicely. I think I'm going to leave the loaf alone until fall, probably, and then cut it up and melt it at that point, and I think the throw is going to be bomb. This was about a 7 out of 10, and I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's a great scent, but I think I need to give it a little bit more cure before I melt any more of it. But absolutely something I'd repurchase. I already repurchased it. Super good Order of the Warrens. Peppermint Mocha by Rose Girls. This was another from the cocktail sampler. This one was super strong also. 10 out of 10 throw. It is a true peppermint mocha scent. You get the peppermint, you get the chocolate, you get a little bit of coffee. Not an overwhelming amount of coffee, but it's really good. This reminds me a lot of her Badger State Cocoa blend, which is a hot chocolate, peppermint and marshmallow blend. This is a coffee, chocolate, and peppermint blend. So they're kind of close. They're like cousins, and they perform about the same. Now, for me personally, I like Badger State Cocoa just a touch more than this one, but I would buy this again. If she offered it again, I would buy this one because I did enjoy it a lot. That was Peppermint Mocha by Rose Girls. Next, Abominable Snow Monster by Vintage Chic Scents. This is her Cafe Marshmallow Mocha scent, I believe. Yeah. So this is like chocolate and marshmallow and coffee, kind of like the Peppermint Mocha, but it's a little bit different because it does not have as much or any mint in it. So it's more of a like mocha with like marshmallows or whipped cream. It's also super good. One of my favorite winter scents from Kirby. And again, cured this one for well over a year before I melted it. This one throws very strong even when you don't cure it a long time. The very first year that I purchased from Kirby, I bought some of this and melted it, I want to say when it was like less than a month old, and got a pretty decent throw. Again, that was almost 4 years ago. So I do tend to let my stuff cure more just because I've learned more about wax over the years. But I don't think this one needs a super long cure. And this one throws out a 10 out of 10, which again is absolutely phenomenal for Vintage Chic Scents since she tends to have lighter, like more subtle throwing scents. But this one's a strong one if you like chocolate, coffee, marshmallow scents. Super good. Absolutely would buy this again, and I have purchased this again. I do try to get this when she has it available. Here we have another Glitterati. This is Caramel Christmas Cabin. This is an old one from December 2015, so when I melted it, it was 2 years old. That doesn't affect Glitterati in anything that I've found. I've melted 2-year-old, 3-year-old Glitterati. I have not ever found a problem with it. This one is a caramel and like Christmas tree scent. That's really what I get from it. I don't know what the exact notes are, but I did enjoy this. Now, is this one that I would go out of my way to purchase was I given the opportunity? I don't know. Maybe. Not one of my absolute favorites, but I did enjoy it. And as far as the throw, I'm going to say 9 out of 10 on this one, even despite the fact that it's 2 years old. It did very, very well. And just smelling the bag, you really get like the freshness of the pine, and then there's like a caramel sauce in there. I really like it when vendors blend pine scents with like a cookie scent or a caramel scent. It works really, really well, at least in my opinion. I love scents like that. So this one is no exception. I'd recommend it, and if you like scents like that, you probably would like this. But is it one that I would personally go out of my way to order again? Again, maybe a little torn on that, but I did like it. Another Glitterati is Winter Candy Apple. Now, this one is one that really grew on me this year. If you had asked me last year or the year before or the year before that, or pretty much any year since I've been in the wax and candle community, if I was crazy about Winter Candy Apple, I would have said no. That actually changed this year. What changed it for me was a scent by the Bathing Garden, and I can't remember the name, but it is pretty much a Winter Candy Apple dupe. Absolutely phenomenal scent. I love that one. I also love this one. Super strong, 10 out of 10 throw. Absolutely amazing. Yes, I would purchase this again in a heartbeat if I had the opportunity to do so. Absolutely loved this interpretation of Bath & Body Works Winter Candy Apple. And another, again, super strong thrower in my house, as Glitterati usually is. But this one, super good. Loved it. This next one, Rose Girls Garden Raspberry Sauce and Vanilla Bean Noel. You guys already should know how I feel about this one. This is one that was created by my friend Julie, and she has a fabulous blog called The Redolent Mermaid, and she talks about all things fragrance, whether it be perfume. She talks about things other than fragrance, but she talks about perfume, bath products, wax, candles, what have you. She created this scent a couple of years ago when Rose Girls used to have customs, and she had sent me a pie slice of it. And I raved and raved and raved and raved about it. Probably one of the top 10 pieces of wax I've ever melted in my entire life. And I still stand by that today. So when Jenny decided to pour it again in a pre-order this year, I ordered 8 muffins. And this is all I've had the heart to bring myself to melt in that like 9-month period is 2 of the muffins. And I've been melting it mostly in my bedroom, so I'm going through it really slowly. But this is so good. This is kind of like a grown-up version of Lush's Rose Jam, which I'm a Rose Jam fanatic. This is a true rose scent, so that's what Rose Girls Garden is. It's a true rose scent, and then her raspberry sauce is just flawless. I don't think any vendor out there has a better raspberry than Rose Girls, at least in my opinion. Her raspberry sauce is everything. And then Vanilla Bean Noel just adds a creaminess to it, and it makes it smell like a raspberry rose jam. Because rose jam is rose and lemon and vanilla. This is rose, raspberry, and vanilla, so it's a little bit different, but kind of along the same vibes. This is so good. Throws it a 12 out of 10 every time. When I melt this in my house, there is no room that you can't go in that you won't smell it. It's so good. Is this scent going to be for everybody? Probably not. I will say that the rose part and the raspberry blend so well that I wouldn't consider this a floral. That's just my opinion. But it is a beautiful, beautiful, complex, perfumey type scent. I'd recommend people at least trying it and seeing if they love it as much as I do. Absolutely phenomenal. Would totally repurchase this anytime she decides that she wants to pour it. I'm all over this one. Love it. Okay, we've got from the Purple Fox Wax Company, Holiday at Cecil Hotel. This was a berry and pumpkin pecan waffles type blend. And I loved this. This was so freaking good. This threw, and if you guys have seen my Purple Fox Wax videos, my hauls or my melted reviews, most of the time I say that what works for me best with Purple Fox is her perfumey and her fresh scents. So this is neither perfumey nor fresh. This is a bakery mixed with berries. And this performed at the level that her perfume and fresh scents perform. 10 out of 10, absolutely flawless. Would absolutely purchase this again. Loved every single second that this was melting. And this was a Geo bar, and I broke it up into 4 pieces, melted it all over the house. Flawless. Flawless. Another one from Purple Fox Wax. We had Deep Forest Trails covered in cat hair. Sorry, guys. So this is a blend of her Ooey Gooey, which is a like marshmallow fluff scent or a toasted marshmallow scent. And yeah, it's more toasted marshmallow. And then she blended it with like some pine scents. So this is like a pine / toasted marshmallow blend. This one performed okay. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It wasn't phenomenally strong like Holiday at Cecil Hotel. The scent is beautiful, and I think in smaller rooms it would do very well. I, again, broke it up, melted it all over the house. I think if I were to purchase this again, and I wouldn't hesitate to purchase this again because it's a great scent, but I think I would probably confine this to my bedroom and just break it up smaller and have, instead of trying to melt the whole Geo bar at once, I would just, break off a piece of it, melt it in my bedroom and then, break off another piece when I was ready to melt it again. Because I think it performed way better in smaller rooms than it did in my larger room. But super good, super unique scent that I love. I wanted it to be stronger. Americana Smoothie by Rose Girls, one of my all-time favorites. Blackberry jam, monster cookie, and marshmallow smoothie. One of the greatest bakery scents of all time, in my opinion. Of all time. Finished up my last bag of this because I had purchased a pie from her, or at least a half pie, in a recent pre-order. So I went ahead and finished up the bag. If I'm craving a fruity bakery scent, this is one of my go-tos. And it's super strong, 10 out of 10 throw, every single time, no matter what warmer I put in it. No matter what warmer I put it in, and forever and always will be a repurchase. One of my probably, if I make a list of my top 5 Rose Girl scents, this would probably be on it. It'd be close. A top 10 for sure. A top 5, this would probably still make it. Super, super good. Would recommend it to anybody unless you absolutely hate bakery. Finished off a over a year old bag of Rockefeller tree lighting. This is one that is like a pine scent. There's a little bit of spruce in there, so it's like Christmas tree mixed with like cinnamon and berries. This is a go-to Christmas time scent for me. So we have a fake tree, so you don't get that nice piney fresh Christmas tree smell in my house unless you melt something with pine. So I went through like pretty much the entire bag this season, which is what I bought it for. That's what I intended it for. This one is super good. It is a 8 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, depending on the warmer, depending on the room. I really love this one, and this is a scent that I could see myself buying over and over and over again for the Christmas season. So this probably will happen again when she pours it next year. I love this one, but you're going to have to like pine and cinnamon and berry because that is what is in this. There's no mint in it. There's no cookie or anything like that. This is a Christmas tree scent with cinnamon and berries. Mulled Caramel Apple Cider by Rose Girls. This is another one in the cocktail sampler. I super love this one. Another one of my favorites out of the entire sampler. Ugh. This is so good. This is like a Cider Lane amped up a notch with extra caramel. That's exactly what this is. Cider Lane amped up an extra notch with caramel. So freaking good. Threw it a 10 out of 10. Would absolutely repurchase this. It's apple cider with caramel. You cannot go wrong unless you hate that kind of thing. But I love it. Would absolutely buy this again. I hope she pours this again. This was probably my second favorite out of the sampler. Love it. Another one from the sampler is White Christmas. This one was Fireball. So a cinnamon boozy scent. And then I think it was cinnamon Fireball and vanilla bean Noel, or cinnamon Fireball and whipped cream or something. But it's that red hot cinnamon scent. So it smells like red hot candies. But then the vanilla or marshmallow or whatever it was that she used to like make it creamy, it worked really well. I liked this more than I thought I was going to like this. I would buy this again. I would buy that entire sampler again. I'm just gonna, full disclosure, I would buy that entire sampler again. This was not one of my very favorites out of the sampler, but I did like it. And this one was out of my comfort zone. Absolutely. I like cinnamon, but like red hot cinnamon, which is what this is not my favorite thing. So I'm kudos to Jenny for getting me to like this and recommend this, because I didn't think that I would, but I did like this one. And another one from the sampler that surprised me is Christmas Chai Coquito. This one is like chai and nutmeg, and there's like a bunch of stuff in it. Super strong. And funnily enough, when I smelled this on cold, and I think I said this in the haul video, I didn't like it that much. It was my least favorite thing in the entire sampler, and I'm pretty sure that I said that. My absolute least favorite one. And chai scents, for the most part, do give me the ick, but I decided to go ahead and commit. I melted this one first to get it over with. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I didn't think that I was going to like this at all, and I ended up really enjoying it melted. So if she's able to win me over with a chai scent, which has never happened before, then that's really saying something for this. This one also threw, actually, I'd probably give this one. White Christmas was a little bit more subtle. I don't think I gave that one a number for you guys. That one was an 8. This one was like an 11. Like, blew me out of the room. So thank God I liked it. Because if I didn't, those warmers would have gone off within like 20 minutes. And I would have dumped it and changed the wax. And I didn't. I let it run its course. I let it melt. I did enjoy it. Like I said, I would buy this sampler again. Would I pick this one? So if she were to do like individual muffins in it, I might get another muffin of it. If she were to do it in like 8-ounce bags or like half pies or something in a large quantity, I don't think I would pick it. Because again, not my favorite thing, but I enjoyed it enough that if you like chai scents, you're going to love this. It performed beautifully. And like I said, I didn't turn my warmers off, so that's saying something. Sniff My Tarts, Peppermint Swizzle Sticks, Christmas Wish type, Mrs. Claus's Cookies. My absolute, hands down, 100% favorite Christmas blend. So you've got your mint, you've got your Christmas Wish, which is a pine blend, and you've got your cookies. Mint, Christmas tree, and sugar cookies, absolutely my favorite holiday scent. This one is phenomenal. Throws like a dream every time. 10 out of 10. I am completely out of it. Whenever they open for customs, I think they just opened for customs last week, but I didn't need to place an order. If they open for customs like in the summer, I'm going to get some of this again because I've had it 2 years in a row now for Christmas, and I'm going to feel really sad if I don't get the opportunity to have it next year for Christmas because it is hands down my favorite. Would 100% recommend, if you can get on a Sniff My Tarts customs list, that you use those 3 in that order and order it because it is amazing. Glitterati Candle Company, Mrs. Claus's Cookies. I have a couple of more chunks of this that somebody gave me, so I didn't feel bad about melting this one. This is one of my favorite bakery scents. It's just a sugar cookie scent. I mean, it's not overwhelming. You don't smell like buttercream frosting. It's literally just like a vanilla sugar cookie dough type scent. And it's one of my all-time favorite bakery blends from any vendor. Always throws beautifully. Not one of her very strongest. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10, depending on the warmer. But it's 100% a repurchase for me. And whenever I get this in like a mystery box or something, which I've gotten it several times, I'm always super excited because I know I'm going to melt it. I know I'm going to love it. And it's absolutely delicious. Southbound Soap Company, which is now called Southbound Candle Company. She just changed her name. So Southbound Candle Company Peppermint Marshmallow is peppermint meringue, marshmallow fluff, whipped cream, vanilla sugar, and creme de menthe. This is not her strongest scent at all, in my opinion. A lot of people love it. This is not one that I gravitate towards because at my house it only melts at about a 6 out of 10. I do like it, and I love peppermint marshmallow scents, but I think there are other vendors that throw better in my house. So probably not a repurchase for me. It took me, you know, a year and a half to get through a 6-pack because it's just not my favorite thing because of the performance. It's a beautiful scent. It just doesn't perform well enough for me to justify buying it again because there are peppermint marshmallow scents from other vendors that do much, much better. Now, that being said, she has a scent, and I don't think I have packaging for it because I don't think I've emptied it, but she has a peppermint mocha scent that blows me out of the water. It's like a 12 out of 10, phenomenal, beautiful, true to life peppermint mocha scent, and I would repurchase that one all the time if I had the opportunity to do so. So that's just, this is just one that is a miss for me among all of her many, many, many hits. Y East by Golden Willow Waxes. This was a sample. This is like a Christmas wreath type blend. So you get, no, maybe this is more Christmas tree. Like fresh Christmas tree. Like you're out in the woods, like Griswold family Christmas style, getting ready to chop down your own tree. That's what this reminds me of. I melted this in my bedroom. Love it, love it, love it. Like pure outdoorsy. So you get like the woodiness, and then you get like the different pine scents in the background. Get a little bit of spruce. There's other stuff going on in here because Golden Willow is extremely complex with her scents. She'll blend like 8, 9, 10 things and not even bat an eyelash. So I don't even know what all is in here, but what I got from it is like fresh chopping down of the Christmas tree experience. Threw it at 8 out of 10, so not blow you out of the water strong, but definitely strong enough that I would purchase it again. Loved it. Another Glitterati Cranberry Marmalade Christmas Tree. This is like a true Christmas wreath blend. So you've got the pine, and then you've got like that cranberry jelly scent in the background. I loved this. I loved this. This was so enjoyable. You get and cranberry, it can be hit or miss, but Janine's cranberry is spectacular. You really get everything. The Christmas tree, the cranberry, the sugar from like the marmalade, the jelly. So, so, so good. Melted this throughout the house in every single warmer. Threw out a 10 out of 10. I'd absolutely buy this again if I could. I don't know who blended this in their custom that made it possible for me to get it in a mystery box, but whoever you are, you're a genius. Thank you. This is incredible. Another Glitterati Violet Sugar Cookies. Probably my favorite bakery scent of all time that's not a Rose Girls. You guys know I think Rose Girls is the queen of bakery. There's almost no bakery blend that she doesn't do perfectly. Every time her bakery is a slam dunk. Outside of Glitterati or outside of Rose Girls, this is the one to beat. Violet Sugar Cookies does for me what Lavender Marshmallow does for a lot of other people. People love lavender marshmallow. They go out for it in droves, whether it be in candle scent, in wax tart scent, in body care scent. Lavender marshmallow is like, everybody loves it. But you guys know I can't do lavender at all. So this does for me what that type of a scent does for everybody else. You get the floral and the bakery mixed, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Like, I get it. I understand why people love lavender and bakery blended when I melt this. Oh, it's so good. This is another one that I have a couple of chunks of. I love to confine this just to my bedroom, mainly because I'm selfish and I want to experience it all for myself. But this one, if I were on a customs list, I would buy so much of this. So much of this. It's so good. And it throws like a dream. 10 out of 10 every single time. Love it, love it, love it. I can't say anything bad about this. I can't say one bad thing about this scent. Another Glitterati. I went through a lot of Glitterati because I had a lot of partial chunks. And I was like, I got to clean this up. Mistletoe. This is from last year. I think I melted it once or twice last year and saved it. Oh, man. This is just that pure greenery scent. So it's like Christmas tree freshness to the max. So freaking good. And another one that throws at a 10 out of 10, and another one that I'd highly recommend, and another one that I would buy 100% if I had the opportunity to do so. So good. Southbound Soap Company, Southbound Candle Company, Winterberry Noel. This one was an old one, so this one was starting to lose some of its oomph. But this is a winterberry scent, which is like a mixed berry. I think it's a dupe. I think it's a dupe for an old school Bath and Body Works scent from the 90s that was called Winterberry. My cousin Crystal used to have the body splat, like the body spray of Winterberry, and I would go over her house and spray it all over myself whenever we would hang out. And this was in like the late 90s, and at that point they had already discontinued it at Bath and Body Works. But this smells just like that, blended with Vanilla Bean Noel. This is one that I do repurchase. I have repurchased it. Like I said, this one in particular, starting to get old, about 2 years old, losing its oomph a little bit. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. When you melt it, when it's like at that sweet spot, when it's cured for like 3, 4, 5 months, it throws it like an 11 out of 10. It's a beautiful, beautiful scent. But this batch had diminished a little bit. That being said, I have repurchased it. I would repurchase it. I will continue to repurchase it. I love this. It's one of my favorite winter blends from Southbound. And another Glitterati, Chestnuts, Brown Sugar, Buttercream. This was just pure bakery. It's like a nutty bakery scent. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite of the bunch. Not one that I'd probably gravitate towards purchasing, but I did like it, and it did perform very well. Very sweet. You really get the buttercream and the brown sugar, and then you get just a little bit of nuttiness from the chestnuts. Melted this all throughout the house. It was a really, really nice evening melt. Super enjoyed it. 9 out of 10. Performance was great. The only thing is scent preference. I mean, I've got a lot of like bakery scents, so I don't think that this is one that I'd go crazy for, just because I have quite a few bakery scents that I love. But if this is your cup of tea, I'd recommend it, because it did melt very, very well. Performance was spectacular, and I liked it. just not one that I'd probably go crazy to purchase. Jingle Juice by Rose Girls. This was my New Year's Eve melt. If I had it to do over again, I would have flip-flopped this one and Sparkling Winter Sangria Mimosas, because Sparkling Winter Sangria Mimosas had fizzy in it and this one doesn't. This one is like a huckleberry and a wildberry punch. So super fruity, super good. Performed at a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, just like the rest of the sampler. The only feedback that I have on it is I picked the wrong day to melt it. I should have melted this one. I should have melted the other one on New Year's Eve, because I missed having a fizzy scent on New Year's Eve, whereas this one was just fruity. But that's my own fault. I mean, it has nothing to do with the scent. The scent itself is great if you're a fruity lover, and the performance was great. So I have no complaints about it. And then the very last one is Oh Christmas Tree by Southbound Soap Company, or Southbound Candle Company. This one is just a pure pine fragrance. It's a very, very strong pine fragrance. So this one, when I melted it, it's another one that I melted kind of like Rockefeller tree lighting and a couple of the other pine scents, just to help with some of that Christmas tree ambience in the air. And I love this one. I get this every year in her Christmas sampler. It throws really well, 10 out of 10. So this is one of her very strong performers, and I would 100% recommend it if you have the opportunity to get some. So that's it. That's all my empties. I tried to talk fast, but we're still like 37 minutes in. So I apologize for that, but that is my empties. And yeah, for pretty much Black Friday is when I started melting holiday scents up through mid-January. So that's all the empties that I have for like the last month and a half. Like I said, I do have other stuff that I melted, that like partial loaves and stuff. But yeah, that would have taken like an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video, and have an excellent day. Bye.